Hi, everybody. Very good morning, afternoon, evening from different parts of the world where you are right now. Although this session is live on YouTube, we are also recording it. Today we have with us a very special guest with close to 2 decades of experience in the space of sustainable supply chain and social impact. She has worked in countries spanning from Asia to Africa and Europe with companies such as IKEA, Tech Mahindra, and focused on sustainable supply chain, energy efficiency, climate impact, women empowerment, and ESG. She has also been recognized as Asia's top sustainability superwoman CSR leader of the year, impactful sustainability leader of the year. A very warm welcome, Aanchal. How are you doing
Thank you.
today?
Very well. Thank you so much for inviting me to this session, and I look forward to it.
Thank you, Aanchal. You have been in the space of CSR sustainability for close to 2 decades. What are some of the significant developments you've observed in this sector?
The most significant thing, of course, is that there has been an evolution, and we do see sustainability taking center stage now. When I began, it sat somewhere in organizations, but it was very they only did it if they really, that was like the last thing on their priority list. Having said that, I think what has also happened is that sustainability began from compliance, which is the first step, assurance as we call it today. Of course, all these terms have evolved. So 20 years ago, it was called compliance, and now we have it's sort of the same things called assurance. But then it began primarily in supply chains across the world. And of course, India and Asia being manufacturing hubs due to prices, it was, upon the manufacturers in these regions to implement compliance, which was focused on labor practices and anything that lay within the manufacturing unit. However, now as I see it, has spread across different industries, and it is the way to do business. So it does, if you do adopt sustainability in your business practices, it can help you get more business and help your company grow. And that's the difference that I have seen, from when I started to now.
Yeah, as you mentioned about compliance, even India came up with its law, and subsequently many other countries came up with it. Yes, that's very remarkable changes. You've also worked extensively in responsible sourcing. What are the key indicators that you keep in mind when you identify the right supply chain partners? And if you must have used some technologies for this, so what are the softwares or the technologies that has helped you in decision making?
So again, if I say a decade ago, uh, there was no technology, used in the whole sustainability supply chain, right? It's basically come in the last 10 years. Having said that, to answer your first question, I think the most important thing is intent. If the suppliers have the right intent and mindset, then sustainability is a journey that all of us can cover. And it is evolution at the end of the day. It's just like, maybe 50 years ago we wove yarn via the charkha, but now it is that we've got machines and we've been able to evolve. just like that, the most important thing is the intent. And then if that is in that you got right when you're selecting a partner, the rest you can handhold and get them up to that level, and that's not a problem. We all live and learn, and we all have a starting point. And if I just give you an example, so that it sounds more real in the Indian context, is that carpet weaving is the most fragmented supply chain, right? We all know that, the handmade carpet weaving. That industry has come a long way when it comes to responsible sourcing and supply chain. And they have managed to really transition from it being very, very, you know, fragmented, lack of awareness, to it sort of competing with the rest of the world when it comes to the supply chain. Of course, technology is a huge enabler, and none of us can take that away from it. Technology could, helps global organizations see their entire uh, supply chain, or where they stand when it comes to sustainability or any other thing, on a dashboard. And that's fantastic, because that at least helps you make sound judgment about where are the hotspots, what is it that you need to work on, what is working, what is not working, and then take it from there. Having said that, at the end of the day, technology cannot help you make the impact on the ground. In a lot of cases, that has to be sort of done with using technology, but of course it's got to be done in the right way. It
Yeah.
can't just be looking at it helps you collect data, but beyond that, you have to implement things to get that positive impact.
All right. If I may ask, what were if you could name some disclosures that you would expect from the vendors to give you as an indicator, point of indicator, and in terms of technology, any particular software or till now, like many of them are still using Excel sheets and other similar systems. So if you could name a few of them, that would really help.
So, what is very important to keep, to keep at the back of your mind is that I have not seen, and I've probably witnessed multiple platforms, and this is my personal multiple platforms to map carbon footprint and everything that is gaining importance in the sustainability world. But I have not seen a one stop solution that can help you manage everything without using Excel sheets, because there is a lot of individual, you know, organization related stuff that needs to be done and needs to be fine tuned. So, like I said, I always call technology an enabler, but it is not the solution that
Mm.
will, it's not a magic wand.
Yeah.
So I have not yet come across any solution like that. Having said that, I think to give all the platforms that cover, they've managed to take a lot of things away. Just like a fragmented supply chain, you can get insights into invisibility real time, right, from across the globe, which was not possible earlier. And the lag in updating information is not there anymore. But yeah, Excel is. I don't think we can go away from Excel. That's so.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, you have been also handling prominent ESG positions in your past companies. what kind of initiatives do you all have to take and responsibilities that you have to take up as leading ESG of a multinational or MSME? So, what are the initiatives that you may have to take? And I would couple it with one more question. I know I'm asking one question which comes which combines two. What are the management verticals that you would cover and integrate ESG? So application and integration of ESG in a business.
So to take the first part, what are the kind of things that are done within ESG? Now, there are some sectoral mandates, right? So if you're a technology company, you'll have certain things that you need to do, and let's think about it like this. It is a top-down approach. So for a company, the pressure is coming from their customer, and then that company, the pressure is coming from the investor. So that's the reality, that it is not a pull, but it is a push, which is fine. It's no problem, because at least companies are jumping on the bandwagon and really starting to do something about it, right? um, and then, like, for example, let's say a technology company, they are answerable to their customers, and maybe those customers are listed companies, and therefore what becomes important is disclosures. So ESG report. If you're a listed company, then you've got to disclose to GRI, TCFD. There are so many mandates, right? CDP, all of that. So one is what you do, and the other is how you disclose it every year. You will see increasingly more and more organizations on their website. You will see sustainability reports being published year on year. Then we come to, if I am to break the whole ESG thing into people and planet, right? Because that's what it breaks down to. On the people part, which is tilted towards social impact, uh, uh, eh, companies in India, because there's a CSR law, they would do way more when it comes to social impact, right? Because that's the need, and that's the law, and therefore they have to do something about it.
Yeah.
International companies would do social impact, but as a part of the business, and they would engage with different not-for-profits, do some programs around education, skill development, many others, right?
Hmm.
Thirdly, when it comes to environment, again, it's sectoral. So let's say if there is an organization that generates a lot of waste, which is e-waste, then they would one of the top priorities in ESG would be how to manage the e-waste. Of course, then we don't take away the carbon footprint. So companies either choose to commit and make a strategy for net zero, or they make a strategy for becoming carbon neutral, right? Um, so, if, let's say, a company that's intensive on water utilization, so let's say all of these beverage companies, they use a lot of water. So their strategy would be, one of their core mandates under ESG would be water, because that is the way that they are impacting the environment. So it depends on sectors, but primarily, it is carbon emissions, water, waste, whatever else you can think of. If it is
Yeah.
in the context of wood, then it would be, plantations and things like that.
Yeah. Thank you. That gives a lot of clarity on the way forward for the other people who joined here. What are you've been in this space since a while now, so what are the gaps that you have observed or that one should know when they are entering in the space of sustainability and ESG, which is lagging right now? So what are those topics or subjects that we should be preparing them for?
Right. So one of the things, and this is my personal opinion, how, the way the sustainability is evolved, and it's really sort of caught up and accelerated. What is happening is that there is a lot of focus right now on impact assessments, on monitoring and evaluation, on mapping footprint, fact finding. There's a lot of resources of organizations going into that. But unfortunately, that's not going to change, that's not going to help us meet, or reduce our carbon footprint. That's only going to tell you where you stand right now, so which is important. But I think the focus should be on how to really think out of the box and see how sustainability can have a positive impact on business, right? uh, in the past, what has happened in organizations is that sustainability and business run parallelly, which means that the sustainability organization within the organization would not understand anything of the business, and vice versa. But that needs to change, right? Because sustainability can, in a lot of ways, if done in the right way, have a positive impact on business, even help reduce costs in some cases. And I have seen that in my career, where it has actually helped reduce input costs in some cases. So what I would say is that the focus needs to be on making the impact and really making transformational change, rather than getting sucked into just mapping and using all the tools and knowing where you stand but nothing forward, right? Because that's not going to take us to the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, many people think that sustainability is such a huge cost to become a sustainable company. So, according to you, what is the cost versus benefit in integrating ESG? And if you could share one or two case studies on that,
I'll do that.
yeah.
Sure. So, yes, sustainability is a cost. Uh, in a lot of cases, if, like I said, if business doesn't understand sustainability and sustainability doesn't understand business, both the. Now, let me give you a few examples of how they have, uh, how in my career both have sort of had a positive impact on each other. So, we had a mandate to sort of reduce our water footprint as an organization, right, in the global context. And one way was to do it again, look at funds and see, uh, make the business fund this, and then look at projects that would help reduce the reduce the water footprint. But what we did was that we initiated programs from the India CSR budget to revive urban lakes and things like that, and actually make a water positive impact on the environment. Right now, if me from sustainability does not go above and beyond and really again look focus on the impact, I would not be able to do this. I would have waited for funds to come, right? But then you've got to understand that at the end of the day, there are limitations that a business has, right? The company's got to be profitable, that has to be there, and sustainability should not stop because there are no funds. There's still ways and means of implementing sustainability, maybe not at such an accelerated way, but there is a way of doing it. So that's one example. The second could be, I remember in one of the organizations, what we did was that we had multiple suppliers, and they needed to, uh, sort of dye yarn, right? You need to dye yarn to. So there were 10 suppliers, all needed to dye yarn. So they all needed to set up water treatment plants separately, which is a huge cost. It's a huge cost. And one way would be, of course, to tell them to set it up, which means that the product would be costlier because no supplier is going to do it without adding it into the product. So sustainability and business sat together and thought of a solution. And what we did was that we just nominated one person, one organization that would dye yarn for all these 10 suppliers. So there was one treatment plant set up, cost was spread across 10 suppliers and all the products, and therefore, our product cost did not go up and we achieved our sustainability goal. So
Excellent.
these are the kind of conversations that need to happen, and that's why I say that sustainability really needs to be integrated into business, and there needs to be, an effort on both sides to understand the limitations.
Excellent. Now, IICSR is a dedicated institute focused on sustainability and ESG and CSR. What are the interventions do you think which are a must requirement in order to accelerate the movement of sustainability, which we could integrate?
So I think it's especially for the students studying sustainability. Of course, there is a. I think it would be great to, for them to get real time experience and exposure by way of internships. It could be, aligning with not for profits, because there are many aspects to this, right? It's just sort of there's a not for profit, there's a funder in the CSR space, there is a corporate organization, there's the whole reporting piece that is there. So I think if the students are able to get an understanding with organizations in each of these, or at least a few, that would really help them translate it into reality, rather than it just being, you know, in a book. Or we have mentors who have really, ha- mm, happened to make the change on the ground. Uh, that would help.
Wonderful. Thank you. And our students are always ready to take up internship opportunities virtual. They are always there. So anytime you require, my coordinator can just reach out. They're all there. Now I would open up for all the our participants present in this call. If they have any questions, Alkab, in case, Saket, y'all are there. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And this was okay. So this is not about the water footprint. This is more related to the women empowerment. Like
Mhm.
Harshit mentioned that I have worked in that field as well. So I
That's
was
right.
just curious to know. So most of the grassroots level sustainability initiatives, they are normally, especially in developing countries, so to say, they're normally led by women. I mean, I've seen mostly women leading those, but they fail sometimes to have a broader impact on probably even women empowerment for that matter. So, what are your ideas around, scaling this up? How does one go about this?
While you're asking the question, it just took me back to something that I'll share with you now, which is, in my opinion, of course, we need to empower women, and in communities where they are not equals, and they want to sort of progress financially, be independent, all of that. But I think what is very important to be mindful of is that there are limitation of resources that every organization has, right? For example, if there is a funder, if there is, CSR funding coming to a not-for-profit who's implementing a woman empowerment program, it's not like the funder will fund that organization for forever, right? It'll be 2, 3, 4 years, and we will see impact for those 2, 3, 4 years. But what happens after that? What happens after the funder leaves? So I often raise this with the not-for-profits, that some of them that we used to, when I was at one of the organizations where, before approving those programs, I used to ask them, what is going to be your exit strategy? How are you going to ensure that impact continues even after we stop funding, right? Then of course the reality is that you will not, uh, that will not happen in all the programs, but it can definitely happen in a few. And I'll take an example of, the again, the in UP, the carpet weaving belt. What we did was we started to train women in carpet weaving, and when that happened, you know it was an ongoing process. There was no question of sustainability or funds needed, because they could, they were working and they were earning, right? If we are to translate that into, let's say, self-help groups that are there, right, that is a ecosystem that has been created, that ensures women empowerment for a lifetime, right? And that's important. I think it is important to look at empowerment for a lifetime and not let it only be based on funds that a not-for-profit has.
Okay, so I understand from this that one is, of course, the access to funding and financial support, how long it is going to last from the investors. And if not, parallelly, one can focus on capacity building and training people to make them more self-reliant, like you mentioned, the carpet making, or for that matter, quilt making, and such other small activities which can sustain themselves. That is where probably could be the starting point of being self-reliant, and then of course eventually probably leading a set of I would a unit into being independent of economic support. So that ways probably this can go forward. But again, yeah, I mean, probably in rural areas, this would be very effective. And mostly in urban areas, what we have seen, especially in countries like India, is that um, women, so normally we have those eco-friendly products or organic products or handmade artisanal products that are procured from the villages or such units and then sold under the eco label in the urban society, which is good because it gets a good revenue for those units as well. But while that, from the economic perspective, it's really nice. Um, I do not know whether it's really contributing per se. I mean, the social aspect, yes. I do not know whether the environment and other aspects, how this is really going to bring benefits. Maybe in the long run, yes, but in the short run, nothing much is happening. So that is something that I keep wondering again and again, like what should one do to empower women, or if not empower women, maybe just have a broader impact. But I think your answer was, I mean, very explanatory.
Yeah, I
Thank
mean, it could translate into any sort of, like we see, I mean, at least in the urban areas in India now, we see that Uber drivers are women. We see women at petrol pumps. So we do see steps in the right direction where they are breaking stereotypes, and there is, uh, progression in the right direction when it comes to empowerment.
Thank you so much, Alka, for the question. We have Saket Watts who has a question.
Yeah, hi everyone. Let me first introduce myself. Myself, Saket Bus. I am working for JCB India Limited as a project management. I have a 17 of experience in project management field. Along with the profession, right now I'm also doing the master in ESG from IISc. So point is, I've always been in part of execution of sustainability towards water, energy, set up the new factory in new manufacturing setups. But my point is like I always been a part of project management side. So now I want to extend my feather toward the along with the project management toward ESG also, because already been part of that, but not in full fledged way. So for people like us, how what your suggestion to move from along with the projects to grab the opportunity in ESG also?
So I think, Sakit, I think it's great that it's definitely an advantage that you have the project management experience, and you understand dynamics of business. You have all that, and now you sort of complementing it with sustainability, skills as well. And I mean, I don't even think that it needs to. You really need to move from project management to sustainability, but more if you are to integrate, for example, if in your case you mentioned
Yeah,
that you're
I don't want to move actually. I want to add a extension ESG to the part of project management. So take the
exactly.
responsibility of both as a company to any company is willing to go for, like if they are setting up new factories or want to upgrade the existing factory, it help them, or upskill myself also as an along with the project management to ESG part.
Yes. So I think since, like, if you're setting up a new factory and you want to integrate ESG, of course the course is going to help you, but you could probably also look at being mentored by people in, let's say, construction, or people who work with water, and take their inputs, because initially you will need that in order to make sure that you build the factory in a more sustainable way, right? And there are a lot of things that you can
So
do. And
Anchal, I think I just add the point here. I am very much aware about the lead and GRIA, because I was the one of the people in India when the India is not starting the leading, a part of the certification buildings in lead and GRIA. I have started my learning in green building certified in 2008. Uh, from there, I've been part
okay.
of the green building construction and green factories. So that already been a part of my learning and the process.
Hmm. So what is the challenge that you're facing? Like, what is it that you feel like you're still not on the sustainability uh,
Uh, a
side when
point is,
it comes
like,
to project
when
management?
you go for any opportunities, they always prefer to be in, like experience being part of ESG group basically. Like, if you go for any company or something, like they always feel that if you have experience in ESG or sustainability part, then only they consider it as an opportunity. Even though I have part in execution, not in a strategy. So that I think that is the feel, breaker for me. What you say according?
Yeah, I don't think that you're probably, I don't know what kind of organizations you've been looking at, but I think if you are to look at organizations where your project management experience is important along with the sustainability, let's say you're LEED certified and all of that, I think that would help. So I would not change industries. Okay, I would stick to the same industry, but with a role that's more tilted in sustainability. Maybe you would not start off at the position that you currently have. It wouldn't be a leg up. You would move laterally, but then you will have a lot to gain on the sustainability side, because I know from experience that what a lot of organizations are lacking is people who have the overlap and understanding of business and want to implement sustainability, and you have that. So stick to the industry that you have, where your project management skills are important, along with the certifications that you have. And I don't think that you will have a challenge. But I mean, I'm happy to uh, be of any help. If you would like any, even later, feel free to reach out and I can point you in the right direction.
Thanks. Thank you so much. That is a great thing because people like us who want to, add a figure, add a ESG, they need a mentors basically. I think if you want to be part or, guide us, that's a great idea actually for the people who want to add another part like a ESG along with the project management. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
Sure,
so very much,
sure.
Aanchal, and I hope, Saket, you've got the right mentor that you've been searching for since a while now.
Yeah, yeah. Because I have
Yes,
already been part of execution but never been even
yeah,
a strategy also, but not exactly been specific toward the sustainability, called up the in a sustainability team. So that's a very important to somebody to guide how to move. Not actually I don't want to move completely. I just want to add a feeder like extended part ESG toward the project management.
great. I'll connect you all on the email. I have both
Yeah.
your email IDs. I'll make the necessary introduction. Any other question or anything else? Because we have a hard stop in 2 minutes. We figured Anchal has been very generous with her time to us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So just I want to add a point, like what Anchal told about the funding. I also believe that sustainability is not about the funding also, because I have seen in the most of company even don't know how to operate because they don't know their business in term of water. Even they don't know how much water they are using in what operation.
Okay, we
So
have
start going
Lauren
towards
who wants
sustainability.
to. Great. Maybe
Yeah,
you all can have that discussion on the mail. I think so. Lauren has something to say. Lauren, do you want to say
please,
something?
please, please.
Hi.
Thank you.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for the session. It was quite insightful. So, I think I wanted to just also confirm what Saket was saying. There's a role that I've seen of late called Green PMO. So, it's tending towards just project management, also like being merged with sustainability. So I don't know whether that's what Sakit is talking about because I've seen those kind of roles now. They're like more common. I don't know
Mhm.
whether um, it's in that direction. Maybe you could guide because I've seen there's a certain lady I've seen on LinkedIn. She's done that and she's done a couple of sessions on that green PMO role. So
Green
it's still
PMO.
yes, green PMO.
And which
So
industry was those roles from?
no, I just saw that she had done a diploma in ESG and she's still also done PM project management. So there's a certain book that she's written and it's incorporated quite a number of people in the sustainability world and it's called Green PMO. And
What
also they're
type
talking
of
about
industry?
how to incorporate sustainability with project management. So I don't know whether that is what Sakit is trying to probably say, how you can incorporate sustainability and then ESG. Maybe
Um,
you could guide.
uh, is it okay if I connect you all on the email so that you can
Sure.
also elaborate on the question, Lauren, and I'll connect you and Anshul so that there could be more clarity on this aspect. Would that be good?
Yeah, sure, no
Yeah, yeah.
problem at all. Yeah,
Perfect.
that's fine.
I hope that's okay with you, Anshul. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's
All right.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
The
Thank you,
internet is patchy and
uh,
sorry, I apologize. I think I dropped off. My internet
network. Yeah.
was patchy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So
but
I'll
maybe
connect
you
you with Lauren
sure.
and Saket over the mail. And thank you for your time and the expert opinions that you've given us. It was a very comprehensive meeting, considering you have a wide experience. But we do look forward for continued engagement with you. And well, thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you so much, and all the best to all of you. And all I can say is that you made the right choice, and all the very best. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
insight.